Have you ever wondered what you would say if you met a celebrity somewhere on the street? Usually people are kind of tongue-tied. They say, great to see you, wonderful. Well, such a thing actually happened. You should wonder about it because it could happen to you. It didn't happen to me, but it did happen just last week when Elliot Spitzer, the former governor, the somewhat disgraced candidate, who, for certain indiscretions that he committed, was touring in Borough Park on a campaign trail, and he walked into one of the most famous bookstores probably in the world, the Eichler's bookstore in Borough Park, and was seeking to buy something and shake some hands, etc. And a lot of people came by and shook his hand and were talking to him and taking pictures with him, of course. But the real question, I think, might be, is that if you were in that bookstore at that time, and you had the opportunity to meet Elliot Spitzer, and you had the opportunity to say, let me recommend one book to you, Mr. Spitzer, what book would that be? Now, maybe he's not interested at all, but let's say he was looking for it. Let's say he asked you. He said, I'd like to buy a Jewish book. He is Jewish. I'd like to buy a Jewish book. There are so many thousands of Jewish books. Which one would you choose? Now, of course, a lot of people say that if I was in the store, I would probably choose What the Angel Taught You, the book I wrote with Rabbi Noach Weinberg. And, of course, that's not a paid advertisement, or I might say Salomon Says. Sure, a book that I wrote not long ago. But, frankly, if you ask me what book I would choose, I believe I might choose this book, which is On Judaism by Rabbi Feldman, Emmanuel Feldman, which is a great book for anybody and a great book just about basics about Judaism. I think that's the one I would give. But among the thousands that are in there, considering where he's up to, etc., what book would you recommend that Elliot Spitzer read? If he had just one book to buy, one book to read, I think he walked out with two of the prayer books from Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which is, with the translation, certainly a fine choice. But let's hear some of your ideas. If you were in the bookstore at Eichler's that day, you met Elliot Spitzer, what book would you recommend? Something to think about.